Hey, we're done both. Look at us go. Whoop,
We're
whoop.
so good.
We're so good. I'm Ruth Ann.
I'm Chris.
And we are GeekChic Promotions, and we are back for Nerd Rage.
Woohoo.
We've had to take so many times of just like either pre-recording or doing it in random places because there's so many conventions. We are in the thick of the convention season, as it were. Even though now it feels like the convention season is like till no, I feel like it's January to November now. Like it's not even.
Yeah, there's like smaller ones that you can go to, but like the huge ones are happening now, and it's like I feel like it kind of goes like it starts off with like probably this one, to be honest, Anime Expo, because it's so freaking huge.
It's so huge, but it's crazy because it's back to back. So we have Anime Expo is this weekend.
In San Diego.
Well, even before San Diego, VidCon is this coming week.
Really?
I've like there's a few events like we're invited to, but I was like, I don't know. Like that's a lot.
I don't think I can do it.
Oh yeah. And then San Diego. And then I feel like it chills out for me for a little bit. I don't know for you. And then October it's banana hammocks. It's crazy.
Yeah. October is like New York Comic Con. I think that's the only one I have besides San Diego, so I'm okay.
Every weekend. So New York Comic Con, LA Comic Con, Baltimore Comic Con.
Oh man.
And MCM.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
Yeah. I think I don't have to do that many. But San Diego's enough for me.
We kind of were in a brunchy mood, so we're doing some screwdrivers. Plinkies. Cheers. Cheers to you guys. So a lot happened this week. Oh, it's tangerine juice, by the way. Not orange juice. If you're like, well, a little different.
I only tasted the vodka.
I made, obviously, because I made the drinks. All right, I'm trying to find, is it up here yet?
Oh, you just refresh it, the page, and then it pops up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so today we're going to talk about that whole Little Mermaid controversy. We're going to talk about Spider-Man Far From Home. We're going to talk about Stranger Things Season 3. Yeah, and just...
Oh, what up, George Colombo? What up, buddy? And Rod.
Yeah.
What up? Hi. Hi, friends. All right, so I want to start with the Little Mermaid shit because it got me so angry, guys. I am so angry.
Also, by the way, that, what is her name?
Halle
Bailey.
Yeah, because when I first saw it,
Halle Berry.
I was like, Halle Berry, get the fuck out! Like, nothing to do with, like, anything except for being a Halle Berry. Like, that's what I thought at first. But no, yeah, how do you pronounce her name?
Bailey.
Bailey.
Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey.
And she's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous and so sweet.
Yeah.
Like,
and her voice of an angel.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
I
looked at her YouTube videos. It was awesome.
It's out of control how, and I love these people trying to make it not racism, and you're like, guys, you are straight up being racist. Like,
the weird thing is that I've actually seen people of color complaining about it, which I don't understand.
Oh, I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, I had one in my feed yesterday, and I read the whole 45 response thread because I was seriously like confused over why he was angry at it, and he was just, and his whole point was that they're throwing
a dude on top of all that, like not to like be like dudes can't like Little Mermaid, but I don't know, that makes me happier. So the reason that it was some dude being like,
he felt like it was
not my mermaid. Like what?
Yeah, well, he felt like it was forced diversity. So he felt like they were throwing her in there just to be diverse and not because. But I was like, but look at her talent, like
Rod was just saying that she's perfect for the role and she's a YouTuber, and that's where that's where she was kind of discovered.
Yeah. So I was just like, I don't like. First of all, do your research before you go like.
She's like
that crap. Yeah, I feel like you need to do a little
the
more.
interwebs.
But it was one of those things where I seriously was baffled by it. But I don't think he was being a racist about it. I think he was just being like.
So okay, I do like that's one thing that like I haven't seen talked about as much as the forced diversity and all that kind of stuff. Like I just don't, that didn't come off to me at all from this.
I didn't consider it, to be honest.
And it's funny too because one of my favorite posts is somebody was saying like, man, if this is pissing people off, people totally forgot about the 1998 with I think it was Brandy as Cinderella.
Oh yeah.
And then Whoopi Goldberg and that white dude gave birth to an Asian, like had an Asian kid. Like nobody cared. It was like whatever. Like we're just people on screen. Like nothing mattered. Like I loved that when that came out. It was just totally like. Well, and I just love the fact that they're trying to do like genetic stuff when it comes to mermaids. I'm like, this is not a real thing.
Well, first of all, it's like it's an animation, so I don't know where. that comes from. It's like this wasn't a real person or anything like that, a historical figure that.
Oh yeah, or
mermaids
aren't real.
It's so weird, yeah. But also like I also think the whole thing of like them saying like well, she's a mermaid and like trying to describe it like when you're down below the ocean.
Oh yeah,
you don't get any sunlight.
And they're like, excuse me, look, just learn science because that has nothing to do with your skin color.
What?
Like, what is happening? Yeah, and Kim also, Rod also says she'll prove them wrong when the movie comes out, 100%.
Right. Yes.
Even if the movie sucks, she'll be awesome, like Jasmine in the new Aladdin movie. Yeah, I haven't even watched the new Aladdin movie. I'm way behind on stuff. And then, and Rod said exactly what I said, is like, when people say that they aren't racist, and then, like, sees a multicolored fish in cartoon, forced diversity! Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's really funny. When this was first announced, the girl sits next to me, she showed me it, and she was like, oh, look who the new Little Mermaid is. And I looked at it, and I was like, oh my god, she's so pretty.
She's so pretty.
Like, that's literally what I said to her. And she's like, yeah, internet's gonna go like batshit crazy over this. And I just looked at her like why? Like for a second, and then I was like, oh,
it's like disappointed. You're like,
yeah,
man.
And it was just like a moment of confusion, and then
you're
right.
You're right. Yeah, I had that.
So
I had the same thing because I was like, oh, Little Mermaid, and then I was just like, bullshit. But I was like, God, come on.
Yeah, we can't have anything nice.
Like, jeez. Wait, there's like a couple posts that I saved because they were so damn funny about this. So. This one dude named Suede Harris says, Ariel has 6 older sisters named Atina, Alana, Adela, Aquata, Arista, and Adriana. Those sound like white names to y'all? Aquata is a white name? Dying. So funny. What was the other one that was killing me?
Also, like, I heard that they were supposed to cast Queen Latifah as Ursula, but then they changed and now it's Jenny McCarthy.
It's Jenny McCarthy, yeah.
Which I don't know what the change was. But when I
don't know what it was.
Heard that it was Queen Latifah, though, I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that is
agreed.
Amazing. I hope Jenny McCarthy can sing. That's all I have to say.
Oh, yeah. I actually don't know if she can sing.
I don't know if she can or not, but I'm really hoping so.
But it's funny because when it switched to Jenny McCarthy, and I feel bad that was one of the ones I didn't save, but somebody was like, yeah, that's accurate for a white woman to steal a black girl's voice. I was like, damn! Nailed it. And then
even think about that.
Somebody else wrote, being a mermaid isn't about being a certain race or looking a certain way. It's about having an earnest desire to lure men with your song and drag them to the bottom of the sea. Yeah. Also true. It's
also
insanity.
I have like issues with the Little Mermaid in general because that whole thing was like where she's like trying to get legs just to like get a man. You know?
Okay. So rewatching that, I'm definitely the dad at this point because she's like, I am 16. I'm like, and like you are a child. Sit your ass down. Like
you don't know what you're getting into.
You just saw this dude from afar. Really? You are 16. No. Go to college.
And everybody knows that the way to get a man is to show your boobs, not your legs.
Well, yeah, even Ursula has the body language. Like, that's how you gonna get them.
Right?
But also Eric was an idiot who was just like, the person who saved me, I marry. And then like, oh no, it's this other dark-haired one, obviously. Like,
yeah, he's a moron.
Not the smartest.
So
hopefully
those issues.
Yeah, exactly. Can we talk about that and not like so ridiculous? I'm hopeful for it because I haven't seen Aladdin yet. I've heard mixed stuff about it.
Yeah, I've heard good and bad. It's
kind
really
of good and like
weird.
meh.
I do want to see it, and yeah, I've heard like people who absolutely loved it and thought it was great, and then people who are just like, it was okay.
I do want to watch that movie for the same reason that the plot of Aladdin is kind of shitty too. Like when I rewatched that, I was like, oh, okay. So you are just a money-hungry dude who just wants to be lazy in a palace, and you're like a princess who just wants to be outside. Like life is so hard. I can't be outside when I want to. I'm like, oh, okay. You both are terrible humans. Moving on.
I really did like that movie though. Anyway.
Yeah, so Jasmine in the new movie has an actual character arc. It's the best. Okay, good. Because, yeah, I almost saw that it seemed like in some of the trailers for Aladdin there was like a little bit more of a political thing going on, which I'm like, okay, thank you. And they were adults. You know what I mean? They're not adults. Like 16-year-olds being like, I'm in love.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. Like at 16 I would have been like, yeah. But now I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, yeah. At 16, I was an adult. Like, I had everything figured out. I was like, and it's so funny now because I feel like I had more stuff figured out then than I do now. Like, I'm like, at this point, like, I don't know.
I wish I had that confidence.
Yes. Right? She's like
everything I'm
I'm
doing
a
is
grown
absolutely
woman,
correct.
Mom. I know
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Like, oh my gosh, I know what's best for me.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, no, that's not.
Yeah. Oh well. But anywho, so should we move on?
Oh, should we talk? Can we talk about Spider-Man? Because I am really
Yes.
excited about it.
Yes.
Rod also mentioned just one last thing about Aladdin is that Jasmine is the only one that has a new song.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Oh yeah, y'all will stand up and cheer when it fully unveils in the third act. Okay.
Okay, see? Yeah.
I'm on board.
I think I need to see that.
Now, my only problem with talking about Spider-Man, I don't know how to talk about Spider-Man without spoiling it.
Oh,
and
we
I know
can
it's this
totally
weekend.
do it.
Yeah, can we do it?
We can
Okay.
do it.
Guys,
Yeah.
go see this movie.
All right.
Go
who,
see
who on
Spider-Man.
the stream hasn't seen Spider-Man?
Yeah. Let us know if you've seen
Like
it
a
or if you
show
haven't.
of hands to see if we can spoil it.
Yeah. So
So-
we'll talk about it without spoiling, and if all of y'all
Yeah.
who are watching are like saw it, then we'll just get into it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the opening, and I thought it was a very, very strong movie after Endgame because
really was.
that's a huge, like, I can't even imagine people like when they're figuring out like, all right, what are we gonna do right after Endgame? Like, how do we keep this moving? And like, because that's such a huge epic thing.
Yeah, and
they did so good.
And I thought it was very touching the way they gave tribute to Tony Stark in it. I
Yes.
thought that was wonderful, perfectly done.
Yes.
Like even in death, I'm the hero.
Yeah.
Edith.
Yeah. So, and like, I absolutely loved Happy in this, and they already showed it in the trailer. There's some funny stuff between Aunt May and Happy it's so great, and it's just that extra little, like, they did so much great work with, like, character development and relationships in it.
For sure.
And again, this is another time that, like, I just love him so much as Spider-Man.
Do we have, did everybody see it?
Yeah.
See it?
Okay, saw it twice.
This guy saw
Yes,
it
so twice. Okay.
All right.
Let me see who else is watching just to make sure. I think you guys are.
We're
no,
good.
there's like 2 other watchers, but I think I'm one of them. So I think we're all right.
Okay.
All right, let's get
We're
into
good?
it then. Okay, spoilers. We're gonna talk about Spider-Man right now because so good. Okay,
Spoilers.
all right. I'm gonna get specific about the opener. Was perfect. Having the high school like video.
Yes, the video with the
Dying.
low res.
The low res and then the Getty image.
Candles. Oh, you
Yeah,
guys.
the low res picture
You
of it,
guys,
like
that
dying.
was
Perfect
so
entrance.
amazing.
Perfect entrance.
So amazing.
Oh, it was so good. And then again, Tom is so good as Spider-Man, and
He
I
really
love
is.
that we have like appropriately aged. Like obviously they're a little bit older than like what
Yeah.
they're supposed to be like
Yeah,
16 or whatever.
Something
Like
like that.
obviously they're like 18 or however old they are, but they do so well at the character like interactions between them.
Like the MJ and Peter Parker relationship
Perfect.
as you watch it through the movie is
Perfect.
just so awkward and so teenage and so perfect, and you're rooting for them.
But
and
more accurate to
Oh my
teenagers
gosh.
now, because like
Yes.
that's the thing that this Spider-Man, just this version of Spider-Man is done so much better than like what's his face, our first guy with Sam Raimi.
Oh God, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, where you have a 35-year-old playing a high schooler, like no,
And he's like,
and
he was also like a greasy nerd. He wasn't like like
Yeah.
like just like an awkward cute nerd. He was just
well, I feel like it was playing more towards like the '80s version
Yeah, I
of
guess
like
so.
what Spider-Man was,
Like,
and
at
like
the
the
time-
jock who's like being a jerk.
at the time I didn't mind him, but now I do.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, it's a little weird. But also, I thought it was great, you know, how they played into the whole, like, this guy, like, was 5 years younger than us when they left. Also, like, after the blip, like...
I needed that. That
Yeah.
was really bothering
Right.
me, because I needed
now
that.
he's,
and
like,
like,
this hot guy, and, like, you know, and he's...
and I like
he
he's
likes
like one of the
MJ,
like yeah one of the only people that like survived. So that, like him coming back, he's like a grown ass man.
Yeah.
And
it
he
was
likes
funny.
MJ now, which is still fair because like
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought it was so good, and I love the way, you know, MJ played a kind of like a somewhat goth chick, but like, you know, I don't know how to describe
Yeah,
it aside from like she
we-
likes all
we
grotesque
old.
things.
We don't
And,
know
like,
the
what is
terms
that
now
called?
because it's not goth or emo now. It's something else.
It's got to be something else.
Yeah,
I don't know,
right.
I'm sure. We're just
You
showing our
kids
age
out there,
here.
comment and
Yeah.
let us know what we're supposed to call.
But she essentially was like our friend Jen Leiter. I mean,
Yes. Oh my God, Jen, you're MJ. Oh my
know.
gosh.
That's
Ooh, Mark just
legit
joined.
her.
Sup, Mark? Hey,
We're
happy.
spoiling
I
Spider-Man.
know. Well, we're not because he already saw it. I saw that he
Right.
posted that he saw it. So
Yes, okay.
Oh, I loved it so much. I think it just did so well. Also, because usually it's hard after those big epic superhero movies to then come back to something smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was like, and I liked how they went through all the different names of like, well, he's like, well, what about this? That's the other my favorite thing that they had in the trailer is like, but I'm just a neighborhood Spider-Man. Bitch, you've been to space.
And I also really liked what they did with Mysterio. I thought that was really good. I really liked Jake and Gyllenhaal.
I usually
him.
do not like him. I'm gonna be honest.
Me
I really
neither.
liked him.
But this time around, I was like, before. Wait,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
spoiling, right?
No, yeah, we're spoiling. It's fine.
Okay.
No, I was just Rod made a really good point that I'll finish. Okay, so
Say
this is a great point. Talking on actually what we're talking about with Little Mermaid. So Rod says, cool, low key, organic diversity moment. Not only was the fat friend Asian, but there was also the dimensional hunk. Yeah, which is good in both ways. Yeah, for sure.
You know, and once again, I did not even think about that.
I didn't think about that, but now I'm like, yeah, that is really great because like, yeah,
good.
and he was very studly.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was pretty good looking,
right?
Pretty good looking kid.
Yeah, and I loved how they kept turning it to be like, yeah, man, don't take pictures of people in the bathroom, bro. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, he wasn't a bad guy, but we found a way to still make it like, because usually it's one of those things like it's some like asshole like jock or whatever that's going for the girl, but he wasn't like an asshole. He was just like, man, no, it's my girl. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
The drone strike that he accidentally called on him.
It was so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, I liked everything with the glasses and you know, and since Mysterio, as we know, since I'm spoiling it, turned out to be the bad guy.
Well, which was great because all of us that read the comics knew he was supposed to be a bad guy, but we're like, for that second, they did well of like, he's from a different like dimension. So you're like, maybe. I loved how they brought back what's his face from. Oh God, I can't think of the actor's name, but he's the lead in.
You're talking about Christmas Story.
Christmas Story. Yeah, you shoot your eye out, kid. Yeah. I love that they brought him back from the first Iron Man. So good. Yeah. Like, and I think because I was whispering at you because I'm a terrible person to watch movies with. I'm like, oh my God,
yes. And she claps a lot through the whole thing.
I get very excited.
Thing. Yes.
But you used to love me, right? Love watching movies with me. Hi, Ariel. We're talking about Spider-Man, so we don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it yet. Because we're being those jerks that saw it on... Did we see it on Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday. We did not fuck around. There was too much to do this weekend because, like, I'm still mad that, like, not mad, but it was, like, too much this weekend between, like, AX and then I have a bunch of stuff for Aftershock. As well as then Stranger Things came out, and I was like, but I can't until, oh no. So
what time is it? Do we have to get to Stranger Things yet?
Not quite yet. Well, I'll let her do a little blip about Stranger Things because I've not watched any of it yet.
That's cool. We still got.
Yeah, we got like 10 minutes. We're good. So Rod also says the same thing. We were saying that like, okay, Ariel, you saw it. Woo, we can keep talking about it. Rod said I like the twist for the comic fans that Mysterio was a former Stark employee instead of a Hollywood FX.
That was the best.
FX. So I loved it so much. It was like Revenge of the Nerds.
It was.
Like it made me so happy.
That was a great twist, by the way, that I also appreciated because sometimes some of the things they do you're not on board with and you're like, oh, they didn't even need to change it, whatever. But like this one, like they've made some really good changes and I thought it made a lot more sense. It was very believable. Yeah. And it just tied it together really, really nicely.
And I did like how this Mysterio did like Spider-Man, but he's like, you are a child, just go over here. I'll take care of it.
Janice. Shout out to Janice, who was doing the costume and
Steven, do you still need the cape? Do you still need the cape? Yes,
Janice.
Still need the cape. I might be shaking hands with the queen or whatever he said. Like, just the whole
Janice.
team and the production of it. Yeah, she's just steaming that cape, just getting it prepped.
So good.
And then, oh God, what I loved about this movie is you thought that was the only twist. And then at the very end, when you find out that they were the aliens from Captain Marvel, which also which makes more sense of when he had that reaction of like, don't you invoke that name. Yeah. Because when he got really serious about that, I was like, oh, that's a great thing for Nick
That
Fury
was,
to get
yes.
like heated about, but then I was like, oh, it makes even more sense if he's one of the now I'm forgetting the name of those
whatever
aliens.
they're called.
It's not Skrulls.
It's not-
We just fade out. Skrull. We're so bad at remembering things for these streams.
Anyway, I thought it was really good at the end, that reveal. It like
Skrulls.
changed everything. The Skrulls. You were
I was like,
right.
yeah, I was
Okay.
right. Woo!
So
Thanks,
yeah.
George, for the win.
And I really liked like the twist of like him reporting out, and then the whole reveal at the end
Yeah.
of exactly where Nick Fury was, which
Was kind of on a vacation, but while it looked
Not-
like almost training or something, like yeah, it was weird.
It was very
on board.
weird. So it set up the next one really
Yeah.
nicely. And also the one thing I loved when Spider-Man was building his suit.
Yes.
And
Oh, he
they
basically was
played-
doing like the Tony Stark stuff.
They
I was
played
tearing
the Tony
up.
Stark song and everything
I
else.
was
like,
crying.
yes, I was crying. It was just so beautiful, and he was like, "Oh, I love
And
this
happy,
song."
and
you know?
just the tear, like little tear
Yeah.
coming in Happy's
Yeah.
eye, just watching him do
It was
it.
pretty great. I was like, "Oh, he's gonna do well these next 10
I
years."
know. So not only that tie into Iron Man, but then since everybody has seen it, wait, I'll read this one more. So Rod said, before the Skrull reveal, I was starting to get upset that Fury was kind of dumb through the movie.
Right?
It's so funny. I was thinking the same
Yes.
thing, because I was like, I feel
Yes.
like he got dumber while
Yes.
he blipped away. What's going on? And also, can we give props to what's-her-face as his psychic, wearing, like, obviously she probably had some makeup on because it's a movie, but, like, just no
makeup.
no
Yeah.
eyeliner, and I was like, yes, queen, yes. Please, no more makeup for anybody so I could feel comfortable wearing no makeup. I hate wearing makeup,
That's
guys.
your goal?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I want everybody to stop wearing makeup so I don't have to wear makeup anymore.
That's still a long ways off.
I got a dream.
girlfriend.
I have a dream.
It's a long way off.
And then, yeah, Rod also said, I love Led Zeppelin.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was so good.
I love Led Zeppelin.
I love Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Like, that was so good. But yeah, then the other super Iron Man moment for me was the button when his identity gets revealed.
Yes.
And it's so great because it's a very different way that his identity was revealed versus like the end of Iron Man 1 of him being like, I'm Iron Man. Like, so good. Not expecting that.
Yep.
But it makes so much sense when he said, like, I still got a plan, like, something set up.
Yes.
Like, he kept hinting towards that, and you just assume that the last thing of him, like, almost shooting him was the thing he had figured out, and I was like...
Yeah. I'm curious to see where it's going to go next.
Oh, yeah,
really
good
am.
call as well. I didn't notice that. Rod said the other thing that kind of keyed him off is that Maria Hill kept calling him Nick, which he does, which
Oh,
the real one never does.
Oh.
Well played, Rod. Well
I did not notice
played.
that, yeah.
Oh, he saw it twice. You cheated a little bit.
Well
You've already
done,
seen it twice.
Nerd.
I know that. So this
Props
is
to you.
now. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first Marvel movie without a Stan Lee cameo,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I was hoping it was still true that they had filmed a bunch to like have in the can, but I'm just assuming it was like, you know what, it just doesn't feel right, especially like the last one with him
Yeah,
and
it was a
Captain.
little weird.
Yeah.
It was a little weird. I kept expecting one and there wasn't one.
See, he said it. He's like, he didn't know till his second viewing. Mm-hmm. So we just gotta go see it again. We'll catch all those little things.
We've been talking about seeing it again. I don't know if we're gonna get a chance to. There's stuff to see.
There's so much stuff to
much
watch.
stuff.
It's so hard to keep up.
So we totally just binge watched Stranger Things in one day. We did it on 4th of July, and we just stayed in.
That sounds
just-
like a perfect 4th of July.
Oh, it was. It was 100% the most perfect 4th of July because, you know, it takes place during
Yeah.
the 4th of July. The whole season does because it's like literally over
God
the course
damn
of
it,
like
Netflix!
2
You are
days or
so
something.
smart.
Yeah,
Like that's
it was,
brilliant.
It was pretty great, and I'm just gonna, since we have like 6.5 minutes left, I'm just gonna no
Okay.
spoilers because I know a lot of people probably haven't
I
seen
haven't.
it.
I haven't even.
So
I didn't
don't
watch
worry
the
about
trailer
it.
yet.
Yeah.
That's-
So here's like my hot take is that it was so much better than season 2. Like season 2,
really?
I didn't mind it, but I wasn't like yeah, like I wasn't that way with season 2. But season 3, I was 100% in.
Oh yeah, they brought their A game back.
Oh, they brought their A game, and it was
Well,
great.
okay.
It takes place in 1985, so
It's an excellent year. If I do
it
say
is
so
an
myself.
excellent year because I was a certain age in 1985 that mirrors these young children. So, literally, I feel like Elle was wearing some of the outfits that I owned, and it was amazing.
Oh yeah, by the
So-
way, have you seen the whole thing that all those outfits are available at Target?
There's Scoops Ahoy, where the kids work.
Yeah.
Okay, was set up in Burbank, where the Baskin Robbins is, with everything that they offered. Because one of the big things was like
Wow.
USS Butterscotch, like a float kind of a thing. And yeah, and Marcus took a picture of it and sent it to me when he
So
saw it.
Rod said the setting of Starcourt Mall brings back all
Yes.
the feels.
So I
Yeah.
have a feeling that they just took some Abandoned Mall and just, well, this was Marcus's theory, not mine. I agreed with it. But that they
mean, we could just ask
renovated
Emily.
it. Yeah, well, she's busy.
She's a little busy.
I'll ask her later.
Our friend is one of the producers on
Yes.
it, and it was like it was crazy because like the first season when nobody knew about it, and she's very young, and like it was her not her first big, but like one of her.
She's like,
yeah.
she's got to be 30 by now.
I don't think so.
Really? I feel like she's got to be 30. Anyway,
think so.
old roommate. It was just, the mall itself
Oh yeah.
was
So
fantastic.
Rod said our friend
did a tour of the
did
mall?
a tour of the mall. So cool.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey Marcus, he just joined, so he can answer some of the questions that we were just said. But yes, continue.
Yeah, so I thought that it was really well done, really definitely well placed in 1985. Definitely all the teen angst was top notch.
Oh.
It was perfect with the hormones and perfect with everything else going on. And I absolutely loved the...
And Rod also has the answer. It was a half-dead mall that they took over the closed part.
Okay, that makes sense. Because
That
they
is
had there were some stores that I know that like are no longer around that were featured, not featured, but you could see them in the background.
can't wait to watch the show.
Yeah. So.
That might be my day tomorrow, but that depends on AX and other work because like there's just
It was so
so much
good,
to
you
do.
guys, and the
So much to
monster
watch.
was super scary. I was completely grossed out by it. Marcus called it looked like ground meat, like stuck together and goopy. It was just disgusting, and I loved it. And it wasn't like too scary though. It was like appropriately scary. And Winona Ryder, perfect as usual. The sheriff, perfect as usual. Like.
total random side note. Can I just say how happy I am to be watching a TV show that still has Winona Ryder in it? Because like I was obsessed with her as a kid between like Beetlejuice and
Reality Bites.
yes,
And
Heathers,
yeah, she was.
Bram Stoker's Dracula. Not gonna lie. That's still one of my favorite movies. I get
Oh my
it.
gosh.
It's ridiculous, but I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it brings my little, because that's definitely the goth girl in me. It's just like, yeah.
There was one thing that I did not understand about this season, and maybe if y'all watch it, you can help me understand. But I'm just, and this is not a spoiler. It's just like a fact. That
Okay.
we're gonna, like, see.
I'm gonna
like,
keep this in my
okay.
mind while I watch it and text
Okay.
you if I figure it out.
The Russians are involved, and I don't understand why or how. And I maybe have a feeling that might be season 4, because it's not ever.
Wasn't
or unless
that-
it's answered and I don't know it, but I'm like,
Huh.
yeah, it's one of those like that's literally how I was the whole 3rd season about the Russians. I was like, huh, like, and it's.
Sorry, I'm reading his comment. So Rod just said the most brilliant thing ever, where he's like, my theory is that they filmed the manic moments with Winona and then write the screenplay around it.
She was really good in this one, I have to say. Like she played like a protective mother, but then also she was like, she's basically, Janice, the chick that calls on you and like
Yeah.
bitches on the phone. She's that person too. I mean, she doesn't care who it is. She's just gonna give you a piece of her mind, which is pretty hilarious, I have to say.
I mean,
So-
was it season 1 or season 2 that he was like, okay, well, just settle down, because she's like, I want to find my son, and just like freaking
Yeah.
out all the time. You're
She
like,
was a
okay,
little- she was a
you're at
little
11 the
dramatic.
whole time.
Yeah.
Can we go to like maybe a
Very
4
big.
and then head back up? 'Cause
She
it's
was
a-
pretty good this one,
Yeah.
except she still had that like tenacity, like she knew something was wrong and everyone else was like everything's fine, and like she was like no, so she still had that little bit there, but like it wouldn't be that without that, you know what I mean? Like,
That's a good point.
It would have, like, that's her character, so
Yeah.
anyway, I just thought all around it was a great season, loved it, and I didn't realize how much more I loved it. And how much less I liked season 2 until I saw season 3, and then I was like, "Holy crap, this was so much better!"
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I encourage everybody to watch it. It is fantastic, and then
All
maybe
right.
go to Scoops Ahoy in Burbank and
I
try
know.
out because the ice cream plays a big part. So
Okay, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Other random rave, I got invited to a screening of a live-action Japanese film that I'd never even heard of the manga or the anime, which is called Kingdom. And I saw it, and it was actually a super good time.
Yeah.
Like usually like the live action stuff usually isn't as great, like it or like because usually it has like a very low budget, or it's just way too confusing when you try to like put a whole manga or whatever into a storyline. But it was super fun. It's like kind of feudal Japan, but actually it's China. But yeah, that's confusing.
Okay.
But they're speaking Japanese.
Feudal China.
Feudal, yeah, it's just way back in the day on that side of life. And this, it kind of, not rags to riches story, but a complete peasant ends up being the hero and saving all of this whole, like, kingdom. And it's like, there's a lot of friendship stuff. It's like this crazy, like, epic odyssey, like, adventure story. And it's just, it's fun. And I think it's going to be in theaters August, I want to say 16th? But somewhere in August, it's going to be in theaters. It's very, very fun. I almost hope they don't do a dub of it, because I do always prefer the sub. It's quite good. If you hear of the kingdom, go check it out. I'm gonna catch up on these comments before we go out.
I think we got it all.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
we're
there's a
good.
Starcourt Mall pop-up in West Hollywood, but it's sold out, of course.
Of course it is, yep.
Of course it is.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy how that show just took over everything.
It's pretty great, I have to say. So
Especially for like original story that's not like a comic book, not a book, not a past TV show. Awesome sauce. So, we will be back next week live because we have one weekend off. Oh, goodness. But then the weekend after at San Diego, we're going to have to figure something out. Are you going to be able to take a break from your booth?
Yes,
And then...
I scheduled myself around this so that we could do it live from San Diego Comic-Con.
Noise!
Yes, I don't know from where. Perhaps my Airbnb.
Or my hotel room, which is
Or
probably
your hotel
closer
room.
because I think I'm at the Hyatt.
Oh, okay. Then we can do that.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds good.
Right? I like, we'll just make these plans.
Right here, right now.
Live, right now.
Okay.
Right up. All right, guys. We love you. Thank you so much for joining us. Keep on being nerdy, keep raging, and we will see you next week.
All right.
Bye. No, this is the fun game of how do I do